Hello and welcome to the table. I'm your host, Teen Wolf, and yes, my throat is a little bit dead. I'm going to try to stay as poppy as I can, but I want to talk about this because Spark of Rebellion is out. Star Wars Unlimited's very first set is out, and, well, a lot of people are saying that this game's just going to die. It's got Star Wars going for it, but besides that, it's got so many points going against it. Fantasy Flight Games has had so many production issues in the past, claimed so many of their good games, and there's so many TCGs in the world. What's preventing this one from going in the ever-growing graveyard of dead TCGs? And the art's so inconsistent. Comic book art sometimes, cartoon art the other times. The borders are so overcrowded. This game's gonna die. No, it's not. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why in this video. So, with all that aside, let's get right into it. So, the developers for this game are very committed. And they're wanting to make the best product that they can and prevent all issues that they've had in the past and make this game as good as they possibly can, making the best gameplay experiences possible, and making this their magnum opus, their flagship game for Fantasy Flight Games. I mean, they have 9 sets scheduled to go up until 2027. And if you're worried, well, what about after that? They're not going to have any stuff to do after that. I mean, there's only so much Star Wars stuff. I mean, yeah, you can get into the comics and whatever. Well, I've kind of had that thought too. Like, there's only so many characters that you can talk about. Well, there are 20,000 characters in Star Wars if you go through everything. And if you're worried about, like, all the space stuff, all the space units, there's only so many ships that you can do. There's over 25,000. So they got plenty of design space. That's another thing that this game has going for it. But besides that, the VP, to prove their commitment to this and making this the best game possible, he got the 6 aspects tattooed on his arm. That screams commitment. If that doesn't, then I don't know what does. And they are setting up the building blocks to make this the best game that they can. They're focusing on community building and making really good draft experiences for people, making it very easy to get into, but saying that there's a lot of high skill involved. So easy to get into, but high skill. Those are my favorite kinds of games, if you already know. I mean, I play Flesh and Blood. If you watch any of those videos, you probably know. But this game is very easy to get into, but allows for some very high skill, lots of strategy, not really skill or luck-based. It's very skill-based. Gotta have really good strategy. So making a very good quality game, great draft experience, great community building, and bringing some good options for collectors with the foils, the foil arts, the alternate arts, 16-card booster packs, which they did not have in the past with Destiny. And the gameplay itself is just incredible. This game is so freaking fun to play. I mean, like Flesh and Blood, rarity does not matter. Commons are good. Uncommons are good. Rares are good. Super rares are good. Legendaries are good. Doesn't matter what the rarity is. You can play any of them, and they'll have the same amount of impact. I mean, yeah. It's not like the rarity defines how good the card is, because that's just kind of stupid. And this game is following that kind of like, we are going to make every single rarity have good cards. Not only this rarity is going to have good cards, and all of these other ones are going to suck. So I like that a lot. But the gameplay itself is just so fun. The game, like I've already said, is super easy to learn, is very casual friendly, and the resource system is incredible. Out of every single game that I've ever played, I've played Pokemon, I played Magic the Gathering, I've played Flesh and Blood, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit, and I've played Sorcery and a tiny bit of Lorcana. Out of every single one of those games, this one has the best resource system out of every single one of them. Easily. That goes to show how good of a game this already is, just because of how good the resource system is right off the bat. And this game this also makes me super happy. You know Top Deck Wars and Magic, how annoying those are. Well, this game just prevents that from happening, because you draw 2 cards at the end of every single turn, and you can put a card from your hand down as a resource. So you start with 2 resources, and you can continue to build resources every single turn, allowing you to do more explosive stuff earlier. But don't worry, one person isn't going to get out of hand more quickly than the other, because you both have a shared turn and the initiative system, allowing people to like kind of strategize who's going to take the first action or whatever. It is a shared turn where people just react to each other's actions back and forth. And it's so fun. It's so skill and strategy and planning based. And it just is so fun to play, so easy to play, but it's a very hard to master game, which, once again, I love those kinds of games. And honestly, my favorite thing about it, I mean, I love the resource system, but I love this part almost more. You have two separate battles going on at once. A battle for the ground and a battle for the sky. You love those kinds of fights in Star Wars where there's this one big giant fight going on the ground that you're focusing on, but there's also another one going on in space. Well, the same thing's true in this game. You have to focus on the ground units and making sure that you can develop a good board state there. Same thing with the space units. You just have two battles going on at once. It's just so freaking fun. This game is super fun to play. This game has really good everything. I love everything about this game. The developers are committed and are wanting to make this the best product possible, and looks like they're definitely going to, because this game is flying off the shelf in my LGSs. I've looked at all three of them. I got the last two pre-release kits at one. The other two had nothing left. So this game looks like it's doing really well right now, and if you're worried about staying power, if it has or doesn't have staying power, it does. And this game is here to stay. So we'll follow outside. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free. You won't regret it. And we'll follow outside. Play Star Wars Unlimited right now. Get the alpha set, Spark of Rebellion, and enjoy.